Hello, welcome back to the Midlands Outdoor channel, back with another video today. Here we are on the Worcester and Birmingham Canal. We've got the very old bridge what leads over towards the Guillotine Lock, and I'll go and show you that one more time. Our journey today is taking us all the way to Wassells, which is this way. It's actually a section of the canal what I've never seen before, and of course you can just see the old building by the side of the canal one more time. I believe it goes further this way, then comes to an end where a tunnel goes all the way through. But the first thing what I'm going to show you is on this canal section here, and go and show you the Guillotine Lock one more time. We may even go a little bit more further before we come and check out this section. So let's go and head down and let's go and see what we can see. Kings Norton Junction is the name of the canal junction where the Stratford upon Avon Canal terminates and meets the Worcester and Birmingham Canal at Kings Norton, Birmingham, England. It was actually completed in 1807. The Stratford upon Avon Canal was authorised in 1793 to ensure that the prosperity being generated by new canal routes would not bypass Stratford. Construction began at Kings Norton Junction, less than 3 miles from Selly Oak Junction, where the Worcester and Birmingham Canal met with the Dudley Canal No. 2 line, which passed through the Lapper Tunnel. This route would give easy access to the Dudley coalfields. After the first 3 years, progress was slow due to a lack of capital, and it was not until the canal reached Kingswood Junction at Letworth in 1803, where there was a link to the Warwick and Birmingham Canal, later part of the Grand Union Canal. That large volumes of traffic used the canal at Kings Norton Junction. The final section from Letworth to Stratford was built between 1812 and 1815. So here it is, the Guillotine Lock right away in front. It's got some really amazing architecture. You can just sort of see the little pulley wheels, one there, and a massive one right away to the corner. And of course, going back to the other videos what I covered on the Starbridge extension line, there would have been a lock similar to this where the stop lock was, and this is why I wanted to show you that, because it's a good example of what that lock would have been like. If I quickly show you some footage at the moment, you can sort of see the 2 slots in the wall from the last video. If I pan round to show you, this is a brilliant example of what it possibly would have looked like, but operated much more differently. You can just sort of see the little slots in the wall there, and then this massive gate going right away up. Look how old that wood is. So I can imagine you have to pull this here. So when you pull this, it'll actually pulls the chain, then lowers and raises the gate. So it does say here a bit of information. The water level on the Worcester and Birmingham Canal has to be kept 1 inch above that of the Stratford upon Avon Canal. It is my job to open and close the lock gates and let the boats through. Canal lengthsman 1810. So you can just imagine the Guillotine Lock right away here actually operated similar to the one that's on the Starbridge extension canal, the derelict part. So it's a really good example seeing this one here. But not only that, if I journey all the way through, there's also another Guillotine Lock right around the corner. But you can just sort of see as I pass through this little tunnel, we've got the other Guillotine Lock right away there. So I believe somewhere onto this corner here where the canal is, there would have been a lock house where the lockkeeper would come all the way out to open and close the gate from time to time. I believe that might have been somewhere right away there, because I can sort of see the old brick wall sticking right away out. But I will give you some cinematics now, because it is really amazing to see the Guillotine Locks on the Stratford upon Avon Canal. So right, that's the Guillotine Locks right away here. Let's go and journey down this Stratford upon Avon Canal and let's go and see where we end up. Then from there we'll go all the way to Wassells and go and check out that section. I'll tell you what though, it does look a really beautiful canal this. You can just sort of see in front, it's all covered by nature, open land. It goes really far, this canal line does. But I think as we journey a little bit further on, it also comes to an end with another tunnel where you have to get on the road and then go further ahead. Right, let's go and show you Brandwood tunnel. I've got to be super fast because I've got to leave the bike there. But wow, this is it. Look at the architecture of that on the wall if I get closer. I mean, this tunnel must really date old. I mean, look right out there, the patterns of that. Like, had I put a detail of that person in carved onto there, is absolutely amazing. It says Brandwood tunnel, 322 metres. If I carefully show you the inside, look at that. Hello? It's actually a really wider tunnel. It's actually like a wider version of the Gloucester Hill tunnel. It's really amazing to see this. But that's actually Brandwood tunnel, so you can go even further than that. So if I took the path where my bike is up there, you can actually get on the pavement, join the side of the road and get back on the canal. So that's actually a future video. But what have you of that? Seen the Brandwood tunnel and also the very old picture what's been carved on the top. So here we are once more on the Worcester and Birmingham Canal. I'm going to show you a few things, quickly show you the bridge, and then I'll go and show you this old building right away behind us. So right, this one looks very old, possibly dates to the 1800s because you can sort of see the brick is very bad on one side. You can just definitely tell this canal was very industrialised once more by telling by the rope burn from the horses. But it's definitely really old brick, this bridge. I'm definitely going to say 1800s when this was even constructed. It's called bridge number 72. But I really do like looking at the very old bridges. You know, this is where much of our history lies, is things like this. The last very old things on the canal lines. Because most of our industries have gone now, like the coal mines, various factories are actually disappearing. So it's nice we're preserving things like this from an old past. So there is the first sign here. This one actually says city centre 6 mile. We've got Kings Norton, which goes all the way this way, and then Longbridge is actually 3 mile. Redditch, if I go straight away on, is actually 8 mile. But not only that, look how many miles this is right away in front. Stratford is 25.5 mile. Wow, 55 locks, that's insane. Warwick is actually 20.5 mile and then 40 locks. So it probably would be a bit more quicker to go to Warwick than what it would to Stratford. You probably need 5 batteries on these bikes to get all the way there. I don't think I could do the full route, but I think I might go to Earlswood, which isn't really too far. So that's actually a future plan video for the summertime. But I'll tell you what I love about the canal is the views. They're absolutely stunning. You can sort of see the view to the Guillotine Lock right away in front. Then all the trees surrounding. It's definitely full of nature over here. You can hear the birds at the moment. But you can really picture back to the industrial days though, the amount of boats what was passing from the Stratford upon Avon Canal all the way to the Worcester and Birmingham Canal. And we can see by the side of us a very old building which is called One More Time. So this one's actually called Junction House, Lifford Lane. So there's a sign there saying Worcester and Birmingham Canal Company. Junction House office opened May 1796, wow. It's got all the stuff on there, mileages, various bits and pieces. I will take a photo so you can just sort of see it a bit more clear at the moment. So is this some sort of toll house where they charge the boats, or is it some sort of just like basic house on the canal line, like an office? Drop it in the comments, but it does say there, Junction House office, opened 1796. It's really dating old that is. But you can just imagine when this was even built. I mean, it's got some really cool architecture, but I've seen it's been modernised. And bits and pieces have actually been bricked up. If I just view to this corner, you can sort of see what I mean, where there's a little vent in there and then something's been bricked up right away to the bottom. Wow, what an amazing building. But not only that, let's go and journey down the canal and see where we end up. We're heading all the way now to Wassells. So I'm going to pull over and have a little bit of a rest. I've just noticed a massive park right away there, and there is a big church. You can just sort of see the top of it sticking right away beneath the trees in the distance. Just further this way we're coming to another first bridge, and I'll tell you more about that when I get down to there. But let's have a quick look at the old Ordnance Survey maps and let's see what we can find. So I'm having trouble getting my data on, but this is actually the old Ordnance Survey map, so you can just clearly see what's around the area. I think there might be little bits and pieces, I'm not too sure, but you can just sort of see on the photos at the moment on what I'm showing you. But I tell you what, it's been an absolute lovely ride coming all the way from Halsowing down to the Worcester and Birmingham Canal at Kings Norton. We can clearly see that the canals are used quite regularly because of all the boats what I'm passing up and down. Got a narrow boat just at the moment coming all the way up. So right, this is actually that bridge what I was on about. It's called number 71 bridge. It's actually been maintained quite a few times because you can see all the paint what's going all the way across. And then just right about there, if I zoom in, is something really cool. You can just sort of see that big massive red door thing sticking in, and that was actually used in the old days by the fire services to get the hoses right away down into the canal to collect the water. I believe I'm correct there because there's tons of them, not only here but heading all the way up to Birmingham city centre. I've seen tons of those, and even in the Black Country, because I think it was there for the fire services to get access to water much more easily, so they'll take bits and pieces from the canal lines. But I'm not too sure what's even further on, but let's keep journeying and see what's around here. But yeah, I've got to be very, very careful. Oh no, just went over some glass, because if I get a puncture here, I've got a really, really long walk back home. You can just sort of see this area is definitely industrialised because of all the industries on the sides. You can see onto this corner, I can hear all the factories going. But wow, the weather in the distance is going really horrible by the looks of it. It's going very dark. It definitely looks like it's going to rain, so fingers crossed I'll get to some shelter in a little while. Just check the weather and it's got a belt down at 12 o'clock. So let's get to this Wassells. So right, we're at Wassells. I can just sort of see the tunnel sticking right away there. So when I get down to the bottom bit, I will go and show you that one. But we can sort of see a modern road and a bridge has been built right away above. But I'm going to get the old Ordnance Survey maps up one more time and let's have a look in this area in very much detail. So here we are on the old Ordnance Survey maps. There's not much around here basically, it's just all farms, bits and pieces. Farm stretching all the way up to Walker's Heath on the old map. I mean, just a bit further down from where we come from is a brick and tile works just by Wharf Bridge. Viewing all the way down, we can sort of see the Wassells tunnel entrance, and that goes really far. There's a few air shafts sticking somewhere right around top, and that actually beats all the way down to the bottom, and I think it's actually hopwood to where it comes out a little bit closer to. That's also a future video, so I'm definitely going to have a look at that. It's a shame I can't get like a little narrowboat tour and go into the Wassells tunnel. And then just over to that area we've got a massive hall and it's got a moat around it. So there isn't too many collieries around here, like bits and pieces like related to the industrial days. It was more into the Black Country area and bits around Birmingham where all the coal mines was. So it has really surprised me though, look at the old Ordnance Survey maps and see there wasn't much industry in the ways of coal mines, factories, various bits and pieces. It was all farmland and just open area as you head over towards the other side of the Wassells tunnel. But I tell you what a beautiful route. We're nearly coming to the end of the route now, so let's go and check out Wassells tunnel Then I'll come back to this spot and tell you more history of the canal line. So right, here it is. That's actually the Wassells tunnel right away there. So it does look sort of similar to the Lapper tunnel. I believe Edwin Fasham might have explored this one more time. I did see something online quite a while back about Edwin Fasham exploring the Lapper tunnel and also the Wassells tunnel. So I believe it goes really long. I would love to see what's inside there. I mean, the architecture and bits and pieces, I bet it's amazing. But you know, it would be cool to go in there. You never know, one day someone might say, come on my narrowboat, I'll take you all the way through to the Wassells tunnel. You never know. One day I'll get to explore it. But it's nice to see it from the outside. It's really cool to see the brick wall leading right away up. Wassells tunnel is a canal tunnel on the Worcester and Birmingham Canal. Its northern portal is in Worcester, Birmingham. Its southern portal is in the fields just outside the city's boundaries in Worcestershire. So we can see there it's got dates of construction 1794 to 97. Some sort of the dates when Lapper tunnel was actually built. So we can see here it says design engineer Thomas Cartwright. It's actually got a width of double, no towpath, boats passable it says yes, so it's actually a wider tunnel. Wassells tunnel was built in 1796 and is 2,726 yards, 2,493 metres long, making it one of the longest in the country. There are several ventilation shafts along the length which are initially used for the tunnel's construction. It is wide enough to accommodate 2 narrow boats, but there is no towpath. But just imagine if they built a towpath going right away through to the Wassells tunnel. Would be cool, like the Netherton tunnel itself. So work started on the tunnel in 1794 and was completed in 1797. Until 1904, canal boats were legged through the tunnel. It took 3 hours to navigate, 3 hours to go all the way through that tunnel legging. That is really insane. Leggers were replaced by a steam tug to pull chain of barges through. The tunnel used to carry telegraph lines placed through the iron brackets attached to the roof. On the 23rd of November 1979, 2 workmen were killed when part of the tunnel roof collapsed when undergoing repair. The tunnel remained closed until the 30th of May 1981. So you can sort of see the tunnel was actually closed through several years before it was actually open again and navigable all the way further to the other side of the canal. So I do believe, if I am correct, Edwin Fasham actually explored that on another boat leading all the way to the other side. If I am correct, then definitely drop it in the comments. But I did see the information about Lapper tunnel when Edwin Fasham actually explored it and went to a certain section, then put a plaque on this little oak beam, which was really cool. So there is a bit of information here. It says the Worcester and Birmingham Canal was authorised by an Act of Parliament in 1791 after overcoming opposition by the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal and the Birmingham Canal Company. The first saw the route as a direct competition, while the second would not allow a junction between the 2 canals. The canal was built southwards from Birmingham, where there was a 7-foot, 2.1 metre gap between the canal and the Birmingham system. Shortly after passing through Kings Norton, a ridge of hills was pierced by the 2,726 yard, 2,493 metres Wassells tunnel. Construction began in 1794 and by 1807 boats could reach Tardebigg. There was then a period of no activity, but the canal was finally completed to Diggerless Basin and River Severn by 1815. An agreement enabled a stop lock to be built to connect the canal to the Birmingham canals in the same year. But there's tons of information and history behind the Worcester and Birmingham Canal. It's really cool to come further from where I live in Alzoin all the way down to Wassells, and then from the Kings Norton stretch down the Stratford upon Avon Canal. So I will be coming back down to here in the summertime to go down the Stratford upon Avon Canal, then all the way to the other end of Earlswood. But it's really stunning. You can spend hours here just enjoying the scenery. The wildlife's really thriving down here. And then some of the history, what remains, like the old bridges and several bits and pieces, is once more really cool to see, like the guillotine locks down by the other stretch. But you can sort of see I've got my side rusher fixed. I'm back on my bike again now. It's really amazing to go a long journey, and look at the battery. I've been on this all day and it's still at 100%. Gonna have to say this is a really amazing bike. From Halesowen all the way to Wassells with 100% battery is really insane. I've achieved my milestone by getting 1,004 mile, so that is a long mileage altogether. But I tell you what, without the e-bike these journeys wouldn't be possible. It'll take you hours to walk all the way from where I come from in Halesowen to get to this section. But what a day. I think the skies are going blue now at the moment. But we're going to go all the way back down the Worcester and Birmingham Canal and get little bits of cinematics for you. But it's been a shorter video, but it's nice to come out and explore bits and pieces what I've not seen before. But until next time, the Midlands Outdoors out, I will see you in the next video. I might be back with Exploring the Black Country because I've got tons to film. I might actually be releasing my Exploring the Black Country book on the Google Play Store on the ebook version, but I'm trying to get permission for that. But if it doesn't go forward, then I'll try and get the paper ones released. But see you soon. The Midlands Outdoors out.